If you are a national guy, we have this conversation a lot. MVP voting right now, where does Drake Maye land? Now that Baker Mayfield had a very bad week.
He's top 5 somewhere in there. I would say if I had a vote right now, it might be Mahomes. Like, I just think Mahomes is playing at an insanely high level. He had to carry the team early. He's played at an off-the-charts level of late. I think he's back to being the best player in football after Josh Allen took that mantle from him last year. So I would say Mahomes would probably get my vote right now. I think Drake's in there. I think Baker Mayfield's in there. You know who's not getting who doesn't get any run for this award?
Taylor?
Taylor's a good one. I like that.
I like Taylor. Taylor could be offensive player of the year.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that was the answer.
If you're talking running backs, I think Christian McCaffrey deserves some credit too. Because I think McCaffrey has been the one constant for San Francisco. They're 5-2, so I think McCaffrey deserves some mention too if we're talking about non-quarterbacks. What about Jared Goff?
Well, I think people still look at Jared Goff as being a guy who is blessed with talent, and whether it's
around him,
it's not just it was Gibbs in the last game, but you'll get spectacular plays made by Laporta, and it doesn't necessarily he doesn't jump off the screen the way Mahomes does. He just doesn't.
Right, but if you're just looking at the numbers right now, Herbert is number 1 in yards because he's played one game more than everybody right now. But Goff's top 10 in yards. His quarterback rating, I believe, his quarterback rating is 116.4. His quarterback rating is identical to Drake's.
Here's something.
He's right with Drake in completion percentage. He's thrown for, 8 yards. 8 yards per attempt. And they're winning. His touchdown to interception ratio is 15-3. Do you think the talent around him is that outrageous? It's good. It's really, really good. But
people still have a tough time wrapping their head around Jared Goff being an MVP. I think it's because Sean gave up on him. And look, I love Sean, but Sean would tell you he was a really good player for them too, and they needed a little bit more to get over the top. But that doesn't mean that's the end of Jared Goff's story. I've been meaning to look this up. How many quarterbacks have led multiple franchises to conference championship games? I don't know.
There aren't very many of them, right?
No.
Joe Montana did, Tom Brady did, Peyton Manning did, but I can't think of too many guys who led multiple franchises that deep into the playoffs. What does the guy need to do to get respect?
Favre.
Well,
Stafford.
I don't think people.
Oh no, sorry,
Stafford
Lions.
No.
My bad.
A lot of
Goff
this,
took the Lions
not
farther
Stafford.
than Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford never won a playoff
Just
game.
one quick thing on Baker Mayfield though, because you said now that he's had a bad game. In the MVP running, can you have a bad game like Baker Mayfield did, and have it show up as okay, this team had no chance against the Lions? Why? Because Baker Mayfield had that one bad game. It wouldn't, in my mind, necessarily hurt his MVP odds because it just proves how valuable he is. And if he's off, then you can't win.
And Hardy, we're staring at the thing that's 6 inches in front of our face now. What happened in Week 7 isn't going to probably won't affect the MVP race. So when we get to the end of this,
you understand what I'm saying, though.
When we get to
right, but if you look at the way odds move and things like that, and perception moves. No one would have thought what were the Chiefs 1-3 or something that the Chiefs were, then the Chiefs run off a bunch of victories and now Mahomes is the MVP.
Yeah.
The NFL is overly analyzed every week. We do it. The NFL's talked about far more than any other league. They play once a week and everyone loses their mind week by week.
Sure.
I think Goff doesn't get the credit that he deserves because he plays for the Lions, and I don't blame people, but the Lions are known as a disaster.
He's a
of a
really
franchise.
good quarterback. If you
He's
watch him
surgical.
play.
I watch him play almost every week, and he's surgical with what he does. And I think he's a very good quarterback, but I don't think anyone that he's ever going to get it because he doesn't run. He doesn't.
He's not flashy.
He's not flashy at all. He doesn't break tackles.
Now I will say this: he doesn't have a cannon the way Drake does or Josh Allen does. He is a beautiful thrower of football, though. His stroke,
right?
He has when you watch him, textbook the way the guy throws the football.
His
It's
ball
like Brady
placement
that
is
way.
brilliant.
Ball-
If you look at the way, look at Amon St. Brown. Like when he in stride. That's why that.
Yeah.
Is it St. Brown or Goff? Like you could make that. Like who's
and that's it between St. Brown. He's got 2 running backs to help him.
He's got Williams, but Williams was a project when he came in.
Like you could argue that like Goff has made more of all of these guys because he was the veteran that brought St. Brown along, that brought Williams along. Williams took time, was very immature coming out.
Yes.
Right? Like they trade away T.J. Hawkinson. Sam Laporta now is a really good tight end. All of these guys outside of David Montgomery came in as young players and developed with Jared Goff as their quarterback, which I think is
multiple coordinators too.
Yeah, now he's doing it with Evan Johnson. So
right. To finish off that question, Kurt Warner,
Johnny Morton.
Kurt Warner's
a good one. Yep.
And then they put Drew Brees and Craig Morton in there, but Drew Brees wasn't a starter at the time, though, right, with the Chargers. So they mentioned the Chargers.
Drew Brees didn't get to
Chargers and Saints. That's what it says here, according
Drew
to
Brees didn't get to an AFC Championship game with the Chargers.
Not with the Chargers. Maybe this thing's lying to me.
They were 12
Kurt
and
Warner
4.
would be
They were
guy.
12-4. The Chargers were in 04 when Rivers was a rookie, but I believe no, because the championship game that year was Patriots and Colts, right? Or Patriots and Steelers.
Yep. So it's Brady, Manning, Favre, Goff.
It's a short list.
And Warner.
So anyway, I think Drake.
By the way, Kurt Warner, the worst color analyst in all of football that I've ever heard. John, real quick. John, go ahead.
Real quick, MVP Matt Stafford, and believe it or not, Kerry Collins led Carolina and the Giants to conference championship games.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh,
How about
wow.
that? Kerry Collins, yeah.
Oh, Kerry Collins, Penn State's.
State.
Nice job.
Penn State's
That's fantastic.
favorite. Went to college with
So
my
it turns
Well, I
out
would
not
say- I would
that
say
big a
with
deal.
to bring it back to your question, though, Fred, I think he's very much in the running, and like I think he's playing at an unbelievable level. I think I got in a huge argument with Felger over it last night on TV. I think they're doing a good job of balancing having him as a playmaker and doing stuff from the pocket. This is going to buy him time to develop, right? So I think the one point I want to get across about this, too, because I know there's been a big discussion point, is he protecting himself enough, right?
You're talking about May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we can all agree he needs to slide more, right? He needs to take care of himself. You cannot eliminate him as a runner.
Right.
Because what he is doing as a runner is messing with defenses in ways that people cannot see. It limits what a defense can do in coverage. It forces a defense to
put a spy on him, and you can't rush him. You can't rush him like you would a non-mobile quarterback.
Can't rush him the same way. So, in a very complicated game, and in an era where defenses are trying to throw a million different things at you, a quarterback's athleticism can limit what a defense throws at you, and can simplify that picture, and can create plays that wouldn't exist from the pocket. And it's just the way that guys develop now. They don't develop the same way they used to. And by the way, it's harder now because defenses are more complex than they were 25 years ago. It's much more difficult to be a pure pocket quarterback. Like, to me, Joe Burrow is like the unicorn. As far as guys who become superstars, most guys develop the way that Drake is developing now. Your Mahomes, your Allens, like this was what Ben Roethlisberger was, right? You have you buy yourself time to develop the pocket stuff by being an athlete and by threatening defenses that way. And I had a great conversation with Greg Roman about this, who's the Chargers offensive coordinator, and what they told Justin Herbert over the summer. So he went to Oregon and spent some time with him during the break, and he brought cut-ups of Mahomes and Allen. And it was all the stuff that they were doing with their legs that just affected the defense in a zillion different ways. And Roman's point was that he wanted Herbert to run more, not less. And he said, you don't know how demoralizing that is for a defense when they've got a good rush plan, when they've got it covered, and now all of a sudden here comes the 6'5", 240-pound quarterback, and they ripped off 7 yards and the chains are moving. Mm-hmm. It completely deflates and demoralizes a defense. It forces you to cover if you're a defensive back, it could force you to cover for 5 seconds instead of 2.
Well,
it affects you in so many different ways.
Well, I mean, just watching.
Drake's doing that now.
Right. And if you watch Josh Allen play and you just see him, I mean, you have to be able to extend plays now in the NFL. Like you have to be able to extend plays, and you have to You've seen with your own eyes. You've seen games where quarterbacks are getting loose and picking up if 3rd and 7, and you can pick up a first down with your legs when everything is broken down. The secondary is covering everything perfectly. There's a rush and you can evade and end up picking up first down. It's absolutely demoralizing. I mean, we've seen it a trillion times. I mean,
it's demoralizing as a fan to watch that happen.
Exactly.
For all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.